Hey guys, welcome to Podiatry Practice Mastery. Don here. I want to talk about a critique I got from someone, and I appreciate this banter that goes back and forth. Some people have sent me emails, give me recommendations, and the one thing I've heard a couple of times is, Doc, I'm low tech and not high tech, and I made my high tech list. If you go through the 30-day practice blueprint. The first 15 days are pretty much about videos, writing books, kind of higher tech things. So, what I kind of see is there's a need for some low tech stuff. Okay, so low tech stuff, so I like to think about things in kind of a story fashion. So I want to go back. And let's say I went back to 2009, and I was starting practice again, and I didn't have any technology. I didn't have my videos on YouTube. I didn't have anything else like that. Okay, what are some low tech things? If I could do it over again, what would I do? Kind of low tech stuff that doesn't involve computers, stuff that doesn't involve videos, stuff that doesn't involve podcasts. What are things that I would do most? Okay, so let's go back. If I were going to start over again, some of the mistakes I did in the beginning is I joined all these network marketing groups. Right, one was called not network marketing, but marketing groups. One was called BNI, and I spent all this time doing these activities that didn't bring a lot of fruit in. So, if I could do it over again, and if I was just starting out, I first have to learn about business. Okay, I would have to learn about business. So the key is and you guys are gonna like this. Okay, it's learning. Okay, if I could do it over again, I would read one book a week. That is by far been the biggest trajectory for kind of my practice in improving myself. Now, this might not only be business books. These might be like How to Win Friends and Influence People. There's another book by Robert Cialdini called Influence. There are just tons of stuff you can read. So why do I like books versus podcasts? And I know you guys are listening to my podcast. Okay, well, I like books because it has all the ideas and it rips out all the banter. So you get rid of all of the banter and you just get the pure books. Now, I wouldn't read books. I would go to Audible and I would download them and I would listen to them to speed 1.5. So if you're listening to my podcast, put it on 1.5. Okay, it speeds it up, gets rid of all of my ahs and ums, and speeds things up. So that's what first thing I would do is I would listen to one book a week. Okay, if I'm talking about cheap things you can do here, I'll go to the cheapest and then the more expensive things. Okay, the second thing is I would do that's really helped me is I had a mastermind. Basically, I would get a couple of other people, that could be a couple of other podiatrists, and you meet once a week or every couple of weeks, and you just talk about your business. Each of you sit on what we call the hot seat every week or two, and you talk about what your main big hairy problem is, or what your big hairy goal is, and you just talk about it amongst each other, and you get ideas. Okay, so the first thing would be reading a book a week, or listening to a book a week, then doing a local mastermind. Why? Because it's free. You just meet with a couple other people, other business owners. They could even be in other businesses, okay? And if one doesn't exist, go to your small business association and do that, okay? So that would be the second thing I would do, is having something like that. And then the third thing I would do, I know this is going to sound really simple, but I would, and this is something I didn't do in the beginning, I always tend to make things a lot more complex. I would write down each week 3 things that I'm going to do for the week. 3, that's it. What are the 3 things I am going to do in the week? And by the end of the week, I would make sure I get those done. Okay, those are the things that I would do to help, and that would explode my practice in the beginning. If you're reading a book a week, let's say you can't do a book a week, do a book a month, meet with other people and talk about your business, and then write down 3 things that you're going to do each week to make your business better, to make your improve on things. That's enough. Now, to protect my confidence, what I would do is there's a app that Dan Sullivan has called Win Streak, and basically you write 3 wins every day. What are my 3 wins today, and what are my 3 wins going to be tomorrow? I use something called the 5-minute journal, the gratitude journal, and I put in, before I go to bed, I put in what are my 3 things that I'm going to do tomorrow, what are the 3 things I did today, or the wins, or the things I'm grateful for. Like, that's going to help your mindset, right? So those are kind of the low tech things. And this doctor that reached out to me, he's like, these are all high tech things. I'm giving you guys really low tech things, but you can't just sit on your duff and do nothing. You can't just sit on your duff and look at your cell phone when you're not seeing patients. Use that downtime if you're to learn, right? That's the only way. Nothing's going to change if nothing's going to change. You can't just sit there and wait for the patient to show up. So you don't have to do all these high-tech things. You can do some low-tech things. And because of this low-tech stuff, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put basically, I don't know if it'll be either a Google form. Google form might be too high-tech for people, so maybe I'll just do a PDF download. On my weekly email, if you guys get my weekly emails, it's called the Podiatry Practice Mastery Show, where I'm showing kind of more of the high-tech things, but I'm going to put like a low-tech piece of paper that you guys can fill out each week, and you're going to put in, and I'll add some of this stuff in, like what are the 3 things that I can do, like what are the 3 things I did last week, what are the 3 things I'm going to do this week, and what are some of the good things that are happening to kind of protect your confidence. So I think those are things that you guys can do that are low tech, and you can do them. So anyway, that's my banter for today. Is what are some of the low tech is working on yourself, working on like what are things that you can improve, and you have to think about it. I think it's better to think with other people. When you think with other people, you get other ideas from other industries and other ways of doing things. Okay, let me know what your thoughts are. Shoot me an email, don@podiatrypracticemastery.com. Was this helpful? Are you guys doing any of these things? If you want more expensive things, basically I would join a paid mastermind, right? I would join a paid mastermind or a group coaching, or you could even do individual coaching. Those are all other ways of doing it too, but I'm trying to do the cheapskate way when I was starting out. Because when I was starting out, I didn't have any money and I had a lot of time, right? And so I'm trying to give you guys things that you can do in the beginning. But you got to work on yourself. That's really the key, okay? And then as you get more money, then you try to save time. And that's where you pay for things. Okay? Okay, guys, thanks.